So that makes me not the smartest. But I am the favorite. That's all right. All right, so I want to share a story of the last time I got to see Lola. A few weeks ago, I actually managed to flew out by myself and I spent some time with her, and it was, I know, just a quick side note, it was wonderful to hear that everyone got to go and see Lola in those last few weeks. It was such a gift to have that, and I got to have that too. And so I want to share with you a story of that visit. I shared with Lola when we were talking, just sitting and talking. We sang and we prayed, and I showed her pictures. And I shared a story with her that has encouraged me through the years. And it is and actually, where's Andrew? Where'd Andrew go? Okay. So it is actually really neat that you, in the song you sang, the words for "It Is Well With My Soul," and actually this is the story of that song. The hymn writer, his name is Horatio Spafford. He was a lawyer in Chicago, and he had 5 children. And his son, died of scarlet fever. It was very sad. The family was very distraught. And he, a couple years later, decided he was going to send his family to England to just take a break and to figure things out, to kind of retool. So he sent his wife and his 4 daughters. They were 11, 9, 5, and 2. 4 daughters overseas on a boat. Get on the boat. He's waiting for word back from them that they arrived safely, not knowing that the ship was sunk at sea. And he gets a telegraph from his wife with only 2 words: saved, alone. All 4 of his daughters passed away, and they were devastated, absolutely devastated. So he goes to join his wife in England. He gets on a boat, and the captain of the boat knew that he was there, that his family was on that ship. And the story goes that when the boat was over the site where his family died, where his daughters died, the captain told him this is where it happened. And when he was sitting there staring at the water, he penned the words to that song that said, "It is well with my soul." And I'm gonna the first verse. I'll share with you. It says, "When peace like a river attends my way, and when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." And in that verse, we see 2 separate things. I shared this with Lola. She heard it, she understood. But the 2 separate ideas, that when peace like a river, when things are so good, it is well with my soul. We can easily say that. We have wonderful memories, wonderful moments, births and reunions and parties, people playing accordion at a birthday party, or bike rides around the neighborhood and being afraid of the lady across the street. All these wonderful memories, and those are wonderful, and we say, yes, it is well with my soul. But then the writer says, I also understand sorrow. And I look down in the water where my girls died, and I see the sea that swallowed my girls, and I still say, it is well with my soul. How does he do that? How does he look at that? How do we look at that? How does Lola look at what is coming, what's in front of her a couple weeks ago? And in her face, she says, it is well with my soul. How do we do that? So the only hope that we have is in Christ. And that's what Lola knew. We've heard the stories, we've heard many people talk of her faith. And that is what Lola had. I have had the moments in my life where I have seen people close to death, many people close to death. And you see in their faces sometimes just incredible fear and worry. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's on the other side of that. They know they're close. And you see it on their face. But I know every single one of you who went to see Lola in those last couple weeks, you looked in her face not a bit of fear. Not a bit. Lola's not afraid. She had hope. And her hope was in the Lord. I want to share the last verse of that song with you that says, O Lord, haste the day when faith shall be sight, and the clouds will be rolled back like a scroll. The trumpet will sound, and the Lord will descend. And even so, it is well with my soul. The writer looks at something as amazing as getting to be reunited with Lola, getting to be reunited with Christ. He looks at that, and he looks at death, suffering, separation. He says, even so, no matter what, either of those, it is well with my soul. Talking with Lola about that and sharing with her, and I think when she was looking at me, and she didn't really talk too much there at the end, but I could tell that she loved that we can say that as well with our soul. We suffer, we see death, we see sorrow and mourning, but it is well with our soul. I do look forward to seeing Lola one day. I look forward to seeing her right there alongside my Lord and saying, welcome home, we're reunited to be together again. It is well with my soul. And I do hope, as Pastor Paul has shared with us, that you can say the same, and that one day you will get to see her, and you get to see our Lord. We get to have a great family reunion with more family than we can ever imagine. Thank you, Lola, for the example of faith that you've given us. We love you, really do.
It's okay. So, definitely, I can claim that I was the favorite, and you all know that. No, but that's the thing. Before I had notes, and through last night and through the day, I just felt that throughout my notes, and it's like, just speak from my heart. And so Lola was a great-grandmother. She was a grandmother, a mother, a great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother. And mother being the word mother is, of course, a mom, but also in the verb form to take care of, to mother someone is to take care of. And we all know that she took care of each of us, not only the grandchildren, but our classmates, whoever we brought over. Lola's house was the hangout. That was the place. That was like, hey, let's all go to Lola's house because there's food and and it was just the place to be, and we can, all the grandkids and great grandkids, and we can all agree on that. And so besides being a mother, she's a grandmother, and what grand is on a big scale, and she had a great grand heart. And great, well, she was definitely great to all of us. She was great to all of us. And it's one of those things that, we all have our memories that we could spend days talking about the memories that we each had with her. And, probably each of us can claim, say, see, I'm the favorite because of this and that and the other thing, But that's the thing. The family has these shirts that say, I'm Lola's favorite, but that's why, because she didn't know any different. She didn't really play favorites because she loved each of us with her whole heart. She didn't treat anyone more special than the other. She focused all her attention to each one of us at any given time. We knew that she loved us. We know that she set that example that it's like, this is the way you should be. She disciplined us. And I mean, like any mom should. And, but she did it in a loving way. And, there's, looking back, I thought about the different memories that I wanted to bring up. And one that I'll never forget, and this one is always the one that every time I would visit her from coming down from Seattle to visit her, she would always share this memory and this story, and it's like, if other people around, it's like, Armand, I drove him to school. And then people, some other people are like, you drove, Lola? And it's like, yeah. It's like, but the story of that, I was about 4 years old, and we're walking to school, and it's like, Lola, I'm tired, because I was lazy. Or I'm spoiled, or both. But it's like Lola, master of improvisation, she took a nearby shopping cart, put me in there, and pushed me to school, and then she quote-unquote drove me to school. That was her story that she'd always share. It's like, Armand is the only one I drove to school. So I'm the favorite. But on the flip side of that is, last night, it's gonna break me, but I have to share. This morning the message was Psalms 23, and it talked about, the Lord is my shepherd, and Lola was like our shepherd that always took care of each of us as the little sheep that roam around, and she would keep watch over us. And there's a story in the Bible about the shepherd that left the 99 to search for the one. When I was in probably 4th grade, I guess, so I was about 9 years old. It was summer break, and I wanted to go play with one of my classmates. And he didn't live close by. He lived down the road, around close to my school. It wasn't super far, but far enough away that, Lola, if maybe it's like, if I ask Lola, she's not going to let me, because, that's too far. Don't go. So me being sneaky, I asked Lolo, because Lola just nods. It's like, okay. And it's like, well, at least I told somebody, right? So I went and I told Lolo, and I went and hung out with my friend down by the school. And again, it's walking distance for kids, but so I'm hanging out with my friend in front of their yard, and lo and behold, Lola shows up. And I'm like shocked. I'm like, Lola, what are you doing here? It's like, why aren't you home? Why didn't you tell me? And of course, I couldn't say anything. I just go, it's like, let's go home. And last night we, after the viewing, we drove to that area, to the old Baldwin Park house, and the place where my friend's house was, and I realized how far Lola walked to go get me. She was like that shepherd that left behind the 99 to get me. And she would have done for any of us, because she loved each of us like that. That's the love that she showed. That's the example that she showed. That love that just unconditional. It's just so amazing, the love that she had. And I know in my heart that even though she's not here on this earth, she would want us to keep loving each other with that love. To show each other that love that that just doesn't stop, that, like Auntie said, that, give your all. That's what Lola wants from us, to love each other that way, that we don't play favorites, that we love each other, that everybody is your favorite, because you give that love. That God doesn't play favorites. Christ died for all of us. And I think that's what Lola wanted us to remember. And that's what I will remember from Lola, that she would always have that welcome heart. She would always, whenever I come to visit, or anybody comes to visit, say, "Oh, call ahead of time so I can make sure I'm ready." It's like, because I know you'll take picture, and I have to have the right outfit, because I don't want to, and I have to have my hair done. That's Lola's like, "It's okay, Lola." No. My hair's not ready.
True.
Oh, Lola, it's always gonna make us smile thinking about those things. And, those are the memories that I think we'll all hold on to, is those things that made us laugh, that made us smile, that just her way, that just showed love and showed care, and just so many good things that we can look back on. It is a celebration of the goodness that she's passed on to us. And that's my hope, that my generation, siblings and my cousins, and that's gonna glue us even more together. And for all of us, every generation, and let that be a lesson to those that we lose contact with. I mean, we have social media, we have technology to reach out. We should do that. We should definitely do that. And thank you, Lola, for everything. And just we're just thankful for all the lessons she's left behind. And quick note before I close, it's I was at the viewing yesterday. I met up with Clear. Y'all, I don't know if he's here, but when I saw him, it's like, well, Lola's up there with Lolo, and they're just preparing sinigang for when we get there. And it's like, yeah, they're just when the time comes when we're reunited, it'll be a grand day. It'll be a glorious day.
Amen.
And I'm just looking forward to that, when the Lord brings us all together.